An elderly black man was unfairly expelled from the nursing home where he lived for secretly taking medication. Angered by this, his son decided to confront the nursing home to demand an explanation, but what he discovered horrified him. James, a 75-year-old man, sits on his small bed in a nursing home. His face is marked by time and hardship, reflecting a life full of stories and challenges. Even though his eyes were tired, there was still a glimmer of hope and determination. That morning, James woke up with severe pain spreading throughout his back and legs. Desperate, he decided to take the medicine he had hidden for emergencies. When he opened the drawer and took out the pill, the door to the room opened and nursing home staff ran in to stop him. "Please let me take this medicine, I can't live without it. You don't understand what it's like to have to depend on medicine to continue living, to ease the constant pain I feel every day. Without it, it's torturous. Don't leave me like this, I beg you," James begged, feeling anxiety grip his heart. The staff called the nursing home director, Mr. Jackson, who showed no compassion. Mr. Jackson, a muscular man in his 50s with a stern and cold demeanor, looked at James with contempt. "Rules are rules, Mr. James. You know the consequences that we tell everyone when they come in here. Self-medication will result in expulsion. We cannot keep you here," Jackson declared. Without a trace of sympathy in his voice, James felt a lump in his throat. He knew those rules were ridiculous, but his desperation for pain relief made him break them. He had no other choice. The pain was unbearable, like a knife stabbing him in the back every day. Nursing homes have strict policies against residents self-medicating. However, staff often neglected to administer medication, causing James and other residents to suffer unnecessarily. "You never give me medicine when I need it. I always wait, always beg, and no one cares. This pain is unbearable," James said, his voice shaking with grief and rage. He knew he was breaking the rules. But his need was too urgent. Other residents watched the scene with sad and worried expressions. Many of them understood James' suffering as they faced daily battles against pain and neglect. "You can't kick me out like this. I have nowhere to go," James said, his voice cracking with emotion. "You don't know what it's like to feel abandoned and hopeless. This place is so bad it's still the only home I have. I don't want to burden my son. He has enough to take care of already. I need a place to stay." James's words echoed throughout the hallway but found no sympathy in the hearts of the staff. Jackson signaled the staff to take James out of the room. Two strong men approached and held James's hands tightly. "You're committing a crime. I'm a human being, not disposable trash," James shouted, his voice echoing with a mixture of fear and rage as he was dragged down the hallway. James looked at the familiar faces of the other residents. He saw the reflection of his own pain and helplessness in their eyes. "If only someone could understand what I'm going through, then maybe there's a chance for change," he thought, feeling his heart sink as they reached the entrance of the nursing home. Jackson stood in front of James and coldly announced, "Mr. James violated the nursing home's rules by self-medicating. You cannot stay here anymore. We do not keep people who do not follow the rules." Jackson's words sounded like a cruel and irreversible decree. James was stunned, feeling like the ground had disappeared beneath his feet. "You can't do that. Where am I going?" James cried, his voice filled with despair. The staff left James at the entrance of the nursing home, his bags thrown at his feet like trash. Rain began to fall, as if the sky shared his sadness. James, with his clothes soaked and his body shaking from pain and cold, looked at the door of the nursing home, feeling both despair and resignation. "I just want a little something in my later years. Why is that too much to ask?" James ponders as he tries to understand the cruelty of life with nowhere to go. James took his few belongings and began walking down the street, each step painful and filled with sadness. He knew he needed help, but who could he turn to? My son is my only hope. Maybe Andre can help me, James thought, feeling a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. James's son Andre lives in a modest two-bedroom house in the San Miguel neighborhood. He is a healthy 35-year-old man, a mechanic, with brown hair and determined eyes. That morning, he was in the kitchen preparing breakfast when he heard a loud knock on the door. When he opened the door, he found his father, James, soaked from the rain and with an expression of deep sadness and despair. "Dad, what happened?" Andre exclaimed. Inviting James in and quickly grabbing a towel to dry himself, James was clearly affected, his eyes reflecting deep pain and his tone desperate. "They kicked me out of the nursing home, Andre, because of a medication. I couldn't wait for all those regimens while in pain, so I took the medication without telling them. But they didn't even discuss about it. They just kicked me out. How could they be so cruel when medicine was my only hope to live without pain? I felt humiliated and helpless would be my hideout, but they treated me like a criminal," James explained, his voice shaking with emotion. Andre felt a surge of rage rising inside him. He was always skeptical about putting his father in a nursing home but was convinced by James. "Dad, I'm so sorry you went through this. You don't deserve to be treated like this. Tomorrow, we'll go there and sort this out. I won't let them treat you like this. Dad has always taken care of me, now it's my turn to take care of him," Andre asserted with determination, watching his father try to stay calm but inside he was seething with anger at what they had done. James, now more relaxed, began explaining the situation in detail. "I'm in so much pain, Andre. The medicine is the only thing that helps me, but they never give me the medicine on time. I can't wait any longer, so when I take the medicine secretly, they caught me red-handed. They said I broke the rules and couldn't be there anymore." James said, tears streaming down his wrinkled face. Andre felt both sad and angry. He knew the system often abandoned the most vulnerable, but couldn't believe something like this happened to his father. He knew he had to do something to change the situation and ensure his father received the kind treatment he deserved. Andre looked at his father, feeling an even greater responsibility. "Dad, we are a family and families take care of each other. Tomorrow, we will go to the nursing home together and settle this once and for all," Andre promised with a look of determination in his eyes. Heart. He knew the road ahead would be difficult, but he was ready to fight for his father's safety. That night passed slowly with Andre caring for his father. But he hardly slept, planning every detail of the confrontation he would have the next day. "They will hear everything I have to say. They won't get away with it. How could they let my father come alone and not even inform me?" Andre thought as the first rays of morning light illuminated the room. The next morning, Andre and James went to the nursing home. Upon arriving, Andre clasped his father's hand as a sign of support and courage. "Dad, let's go figure this out together," Andre said, feeling adrenaline rush down his spine. He was ready to face Jackson and anyone who tried to prevent his father from receiving the dignity and respect he deserved. "Today is the day we will get justice and no one can stop us," Andre thought as he entered the nursing home. Andre and James arrived at the nursing home early the next morning, the gloomy weather reflecting Andre's gloomy mood as he prepared to face the director. His heart was pounding with anger and determination. At reception, Andre asked to speak to the director immediately. "I need to talk to the director right now." "It's urgent," he said, unable to hide the irritation in his voice. The receptionist sensed the severity of the situation which led them straight to Mr. Jackson's office. When he entered the room, Andre felt the tension in the air. Mr. Jackson sat behind his large wooden desk. His eyes cold and calculating. Andre doesn't waste time and gets straight to the point. How could you do that to my father? Kick him out of the room without notifying me, without even picking him up. He needed that medicine, you didn't know the pain he had to endure, how miserable it is without it. It's like taking someone's air and expecting them to survive. Full of indignation, Mr. Jackson still maintained his cold attitude, his voice cold and distant. Mr. Andre, as we explained to your father that he violated the regulations by self-medicating, we cannot allow residents who do not comply with the regulations to stay here. This is a matter of safety and security, discipline. Jackson replied as if reading a policy. Andre couldn't believe what he heard. Safety and discipline, but what about humanity and care? My father is suffering and you just threw him away like trash. This is unacceptable, Andre cried, feeling the anger boiling inside. James sat next to Andre, looking bored. His expression was marked by pain and humiliation. I just want to relieve the pain, Mr. Jackson. The pain is unbearable and you never give the medicine on time. What else can I do? James asked, his voice filled with desperation. Jackson just shook his head indifferently. We always give patients medication. The rules are clear, Mr. James. We cannot make exceptions. If we allow a patient to self-medicate, it sets a precedent for chaos. Jackson said as if reading a guidebook. Andre felt he was about to explode. Precedent for chaos? You are already in chaos. This place should be a refuge, not hell. Do you want him to suffer? If so, don't you care, Andre announced, standing up. He couldn't stand Jackson's coldness and the injustice his father and other people were facing. I will do whatever it takes to make sure this changes. I will not let my father and other elderly people suffer at your hands, Andre thought as he formulated a plan. Jackson stood up, trying to maintain authority. Mr. Andre, I understand your frustration, but we will not tolerate your disruptive behavior. If you continue, I will have to call security to evict you. Jackson threatened. As Andre and James walked down the nursing home's hallways toward the exit, Andre couldn't help but notice the sad expressions on the other residents' faces. The atmosphere was filled with sadness and neglect, a stark contrast to what should have been a place of care and shelter for the elderly. Suddenly, Andre heard moaning coming from one of the nearby rooms. He stopped suddenly and looked at his father, who also looked worried. Dad, wait here for a moment, I need to see what's going on, Andre said, feeling an inward nod. Andre follows the sound to a dimly lit room. Opening the door, he saw a desolate scene, an elderly woman lying on a dirty bed, clearly in pain. With no one to help. The woman appeared to have been there for hours, possibly days, without being attended to. Oh my God, this is so inhumane, Andre thought, feeling anger and resentment welling up inside him. He looked at the woman and said, I will help you. This cannot continue. Back in the hallway, Andre finds Jackson, who is clearly annoyed by his continued presence. What is happening here? These people are suffering. It is a crime to leave people in such terrible conditions, Andre said, his voice filled with indignation. Jackson did not lose his cool attitude. You should not be here, Mr. Andre. Please leave immediately. We are following established procedures and any violations will be corrected according to the rules. Jackson said. Andre couldn't believe Jackson's indifference. Rules, procedures. That's all you have to say. The suffering of these people is more than numbers or rules. They are human beings, deserving of being treated with respect and dignity. Have dignity. We have to pay a lot of money for our parents to be here, including their medicine. What's going on here? Andre asked, trying to stay calm but feeling like he was running out of patience arguing with Jackson. Andre noticed the other residents looking at him with pleading eyes, as if he was their last hope. I can't leave and let these people suffer. I need to do something. Someone needs to hear their cries for help, Andre thought, feeling the responsibility weighing heavily on his shoulders. Turning back to Jackson, he said, "This will not end here. I will make sure the truth about this place is revealed." Jackson is now visibly more nervous as he tries to control the situation. "Mr. Andre, you're overstepping your bounds. If you don't leave immediately, I'll have to call security to take you away," Jackson threatened. Andre is not afraid at all. "Call who you want, but don't stop me. These people deserve justice and I will fight for them," Andre said, feeling more determined than ever. He knew he needed a plan to expose the truth about nursing homes and make sure something changes. As he walked back into the hallway, Andre saw his father waiting anxiously. "Dad, what I see here is worse than I imagined. We need to do something. This cannot continue," Andre said, his voice filled with determination. James, although also hurt and humiliated, agreed. "I know my son. These people deserve to live with dignity. We need to find a way to help them," James replied, feeling empowered by his son's determination. Andre looked at his father and smiled, determined to fight to the end. "Dad, we will do this. We will make this right for you and everyone else who is suffering," Andre said, his voice filled with conviction. The meeting ended with everyone more determined than ever. "We will do everything we can to save our parents. We can't stop until something changes," Andre said as the family members nodded and left. He knows the road ahead will be difficult, but he is ready to face all obstacles. This is just the beginning. "We will fight for justice until the end," Andre thought as he watched the other families leave, with a new hope in his heart. Early the next morning, Andre's phone rang. It was Michael, one of the family members who had been at the meeting the night before. His voice trembled with worry. "Andre, my mother's condition got worse at night at the nursing home. They called me and we had to take her to the hospital. She was very weak and complained of severe pain. I didn't know what to do. There are still a lot of old people there. I know we agreed to record everything, but there's no time to act now," Michael said in despair. Andre felt the urgency in Michael's words and knew they couldn't wait any longer. "It's time for decisive action. We can't let any more of our parents suffer. Let's meet at the nursing home in an hour," Andre told each of them, feeling determined. "Strong heart within yourself." He knew this would be an important battle. When they arrived at the nursing home, Andre saw other family members gathered at the entrance. The group was clearly tense but determined. Andre led the march to the reception, where they were stopped by several staff members. "We're here to meet the parents and make sure they receive the proper care. We won't leave until that happens," Andre announced, his voice firm and full of purpose. The staff were surprised and hesitated before allowing the group to enter. Once inside, the group headed straight to the hallway where the elderly resident was staying. The scene was devastated. Many elderly people were in a pitiful condition, some groaning in pain, others completely neglected. Family members began taking care of the elderly themselves, bringing water, adjusting blankets, and comforting them. Andre looked around, feeling his anger boil again. "This is a crime against humanity. We will not let you continue to treat our parents this way," he thought, his fists already clenched. The commotion attracted the attention of Director Jackson, who quickly arrived with an angry look on his face. "What are you doing here? You can't invade a nursing home and take these measures." "I'm calling the police," Jackson shouted, trying to maintain control of the situation. One of the daughters of another resident stepped forward and confronted the director with determination. "We will not leave here until our parents are treated with respect. Each of them has a story. Enough is enough, we cannot accept this anymore," Sarah, said the daughter of one of the residents, filled with indignation. Jackson tried to object, but his voice was drowned out by family members' objections. "You can't do that. We're just following rules and protocol." "You can't have this attitude," Jackson insisted, but his arguments fell on deaf ears. Andre approached the director with a determined and stern expression. "The rules and protocols you speak of do not justify suffering and neglect. We are here to ensure our parents receive the care they deserve. And if you cannot do that, then you have to leave," Andre announced, receiving support from other family members around him. The situation worsened when more staff arrived, but the family members refused to leave. "Call whoever you want, but we won't leave until our parents are treated with respect and dignity. If necessary, we will call the press and expose everything," Sarah said, threatened in a tone that showed she wasn't joking. The collective resolve was clear and Jackson realized he was losing control. In a last-ditch effort, Jackson tried to appeal to reason. "Please understand that we are doing the best we can with the resources we have. Conditions are not ideal, but we are trying," he said, trying to sound conciliatory. However, Andre was not fooled. "If this is the best you can do, it's clearly not enough. We pay for our parents to receive special care, so they don't have to suffer," Andre replied in a firm and determined voice. Determined. The presence of family members and the commotion eventually forced Jackson to back down. When police arrived, they were greeted by a group of determined and outraged family members. Andre approached the officers, explaining the situation in detail. "We are here because our parents are being neglected. We need change and we won't leave until it happens," he said, his voice filled with determination. The police, seeing the severity of the accusations and the number of people involved, decided to call higher management at the nursing home. Family pressure and police presence forced a swift response. Soon after, a representative from management arrived at the nursing home, clearly confused by the situation. He gathered the families and police in a makeshift conference room. "We are aware of the concerns and we are taking the necessary measures. Director Jackson will be removed from office immediately while we conduct a thorough investigation," the representative announced. Try to defuse the situation. News of Jackson's removal was received with a mixture of relief and disbelief. "This is just the beginning. We need to make sure that our parents will be treated with respect and dignity from now on." Sarah expressed agreement with the sentiments of all those present. The administrative representative nodded, understanding the severity of the situation. "From now on, this nursing home will be managed transparently and with respect for the elderly. I don't know what is going on here. I believe the director did his job well, but one of the staff contacted me to tell me what happened to Mr. Andre, who expelled his father and started this movement. We are looking into everything the director did, but I can assure you that every decision will be made with their welfare in mind. To ensure this, we will appoint Andre as the new interim manager family to ensure that this nursing home is managed as your family deserves," the manager announced, surprising everyone. Andre was momentarily taken aback, but soon felt the responsibility and opportunity this position represented. "We will ensure our parents receive the care they deserve. That will be our priority. They deserve to live in dignity and respect, and we will ensure that that happens," Andre replied, his voice firm and full of conviction. The other family members clapped, feeling they had finally truly made a difference. The atmosphere in the nursing home began to change, with a new sense of hope and purpose. In the following days, Andre devoted himself to his new role. He started by reviewing all processes, talking directly to residents and staff, and implementing immediate changes. "Dad, from now on everything will be different. I will make sure everyone here gets the care they deserve," Andre told James, who was watching his son with pride and gratitude. "I always believed in you, son. I knew you would make a difference," James replied, emotional. However, the first big test came when one of the elderly women had a crisis at night. This time, the response was immediate and effective, with well-trained and well-equipped staff handling the situation. "We're making progress. This is the way it should always be," Andre thought as he watched the medical team work efficiently. He knew there was still a long way to go, but each step in the right direction strengthened his resolve. Family members continued to support Andre, actively participating in meetings and offering suggestions to further improve the conditions of the nursing home. "We are seeing a difference. Our parents are happier and in better care. Thank you for everything you are doing, Michael," one of the family members said in one of meetings. With a smile of relief, Andre felt encouraged by their words and replied, "We're all in this together. Every contribution matters. Let's continue to work together to ensure our parents have the dignified life they deserve." A few days later, police and authorities conducted a thorough investigation at the nursing home after Jackson was sent away. They discovered he had diverted money meant to buy drugs for personal gain, leaving residents without needed care. This revelation shocked family members and strengthened Andre's determination to turn the nursing home into a place for the elderly. After Jackson was evicted and investigations were ongoing, Andre proposed a new management model in a meeting with family members. "The situation we see here is much worse than we imagined. Jackson has diverted money to the detriment of the health and well-being of our loved ones. We need a radical change and immediately. I proposed a new management model in which families take turns caring for the elderly, providing a warm and familiar environment," Andre began, his voice filled with hope and determination. Family members present at the meeting listened attentively, absorbing Andre's every word. He continued, "Every family will have an important role in daily care. Together, we can make a difference. It will be a team effort, where everyone contributes with love and devotion. Those who have no family or whose family cannot help will be taken care of by all of us. No one will be left behind," he said. Andre's words were met with murmurs of approval and applause. Sarah, one of the daughters of another resident, stood up and declared, "I'm in. I can help. I want to be involved in every aspect of my father's care. I brought him here, because he needs a nurse to take care of him, but I want to oversee everything to make sure he has everything he needs," she said, reinforcing Andre's idea and showing that the union of families really can make a nursing home a better place. The energy in the room was palpable. Everyone is ready to initiate change. In the following days, Andre held a series of meetings to determine responsibilities and schedules for each family. He wanted to make sure everyone was on board and committed to the new system. "We will create a detailed schedule so each family knows when they need to be here and what they need to do. Communication will be essential to ensure everything goes well," Andre explains when he assigned tasks to attendees. Family members enthusiastically accepted responsibility. Michael, who is always worried about his mother, said, "I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I've seen how negligence can affect someone's life. I don't want any who else has to go through this," he said, his eyes filled with determination. "Let's make this an example of how the elderly should be treated. Everyone deserves to live with dignity and respect," he added. With the new system in place, the nursing home began to transform. Families take turns caring for the elderly, bringing new energy and vitality to the environment. Residents who previously seemed lethargic and depressed are now showing signs of improvement. "Every day I'm here, I see the positive impact of teamwork. This goes beyond physical care. We're giving them a reason to smile again," Andre thinks while observing a group of elderly people participating in a recreational activity organized by one of the family members. Improvements at the nursing home also attracted the attention of the local community. Volunteers began offering to help, providing entertainment for the elderly and bringing more joy to the residents. "I never thought that so many people were interested in this. The solidarity was inspiring and made me believe that we are on the right track," Andre reflects on coordinating a visit by a group of young people come to entertain the elderly with music and stories. Over time, the management model implemented by Andre became not only effective but also revolutionary. Residents' living conditions have improved significantly and the environment has become more friendly and familiar. We have transformed this place. But the fight continues. We need to remain committed and continue to work together to ensure our parents and all the elderly here live in dignity and love that they deserve, Andre said at the end of one of his weekly meetings with family members. Suddenly, Michael, one of the family members, stood up and reaffirmed everyone's feelings. Andre, you have led us on this path and made us believe that change is possible. Together we will continue to make this nursing home a true home for our parents, he said, his words echoing throughout the room, filling everyone's hearts with renewed hope and determination. The success of the new management model at the nursing home has become an example for other organizations, inspiring changes at many other nursing homes in the area. Andre knows there is still more work to be done, but each achievement is an important step in the right direction. We will continue to move forward, ensuring all seniors are treated with the respect and dignity they deserve, Andre thinks as he looks to the future with hope and determination. However, a few weeks after implementing the new management model, a sudden storm hit the city, causing significant damage to the nursing home. Heavy rain flooded the building, damaging walls, roofs and some rooms. Andre saw the extent of the damage. Knowing he would need outside help to fix everything and ensure the safety of the elderly, he decided to go to City Hall to seek financial support and additional resources to resolve things immediately. He was determined to get the help he needed to restore and improve the nursing home. We can't let a storm jeopardize all the progress we've made. We need help and I'll make sure we get it, Andre thought as he walked to City Hall Main. Upon arrival, Andre was greeted by the city manager, a middle-aged man who appeared friendly and knowledgeable. Thank you for seeing me so quickly. As you know, the storm caused damage to our city and also caused serious problems at the nursing home. We need urgent resources to repairs and making sure the elderly are safe and well cared for, Andre began, trying to convey the urgency of the situation. The manager listened attentively and after a moment of silence, he responded, I understand the severity of the situation, Andre. We will allocate resources to secure this nursing home. Be an example of care and dignity. This is fair and necessary. We want all seniors in our city to live with the respect and care they deserve. Enjoy, the manager's words relieved Andre. He felt like a weight had been lifted off his shoulders, grateful for the positive response. Andre continued, we appreciate the support that our seniors deserve the best. With these resources, we can provide them with a comfortable and dignified life. We have worked tirelessly to renovate the nursing home, and with your help, we can do more, Manager Ader nodded, acknowledging Andre's words and his dedication and effort. While Andre discussed the details of financial support with his manager, he couldn't help but think about how important that help was to the project's continuity. Every penny will be used to ensure our parents live in a safe and welcoming environment. We cannot let a storm destroy all the progress we have made so far, Andre reflecting, feeling renewed determination. After hours of discussion, an agreement was reached. City Hall will allocate a large amount of resources to needed repairs and improvements at nursing homes. Additionally, they will provide ongoing support to ensure the nursing home can maintain the high standards of care and dignity that Andre and his family members have established. This is not only a victory but also an important step to ensure our parents and all seniors here receive the treatment they deserve. I hope all care facilities in the country there is easy access to resources like this. But who knows, maybe one day all cities will have something like this, Andre thought as he signed the necessary papers. Needed to return to the nursing home, Andre gathered family members and residents to share the good news. We have received support from City Hall. They will provide the necessary resources to repair the damage caused by the storm and further improve the conditions of the nursing home. This is only made possible thanks to everyone's efforts and solidarity, Andre announced with a relieved smile. This news was received with applause and expressions of gratitude. Michael stood up and spoke on behalf of everyone. Andre has been a true leader for us. Thank you for not giving up and always fighting for the happiness of our parents. With these resources, we can ensure they live with the dignity and respect they deserve, he said. Michael's words touched Andre, who responded, "We are in this together. Each of you is essential to this transformation. We will continue to work together to ensure what's best for our seniors." With resources in hand, repair work began immediately. Construction teams and volunteers joined forces to restore the nursing home, ensuring residents were safe and comfortable while the work was carried out. Every blow of the hammer, every repair is a step toward a better future for everyone here, Andre thought as he coordinated reconstruction efforts. He knows that despite the challenges, they are on track to create a dignified and welcoming environment for all residents. The weeks were stressful but also very rewarding with repairs completed and improvements made. The nursing home not only regained its former status, but also became an example of how the elderly should be cared for. We have turned this place into a real home, and that was only possible because we never stopped fighting for what is right, said Andre, proud of what they have achieved together with the Institute. Nursing, in better conditions than ever, Andre felt extremely satisfied. This is just the beginning. We will continue to work together to ensure every elderly person can live with dignity, respect and love, he thought as he looked to the future with hope and determination. The battle for resources and innovation has been won, but the mission of excellent senior care continues, guided by the solidarity and commitment of everyone. 3 years have passed since the nursing home's major reform. The sun was setting over the renewed garden, its golden light reflecting on the faces of the residents gathered for the celebration of the 5th year of the restructuring. Andre, now more mature and with some wrinkles softened over time, strolls through the garden with his father James, whose serene smile and bright eyes show the positive effects of years of care-love. The atmosphere was filled with joy and celebration. Families gather and children run around, the elderly fill the air with laughter and games. Volunteers and staff are now an integral part of this large family, which takes care of the preparations for the party. Andre observed everything with a deep sense of accomplishment. "Look, Dad. We did it. We made this a real home," he said, his voice choked with emotion. James held his son's hand and nodded with a proud smile. "You've done more than change a place, Andre. You've changed lives, brought hope and dignity to many people. I couldn't be more proud of you," James replied, his voice gentle and full of gratitude. Andre's eyes filled with tears as he absorbed his father's words. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, it was all worth it. Andre looked around and saw the familiar faces of the residents and their loved ones. Many elderly people who suffered under the previous administration are now living out their days in peace and joy. "I always fought for justice, Father, but you taught me that true justice comes from love and care. I would do it all again without hesitation," Andre said and clasped his hands. "My father." The ceremony began with a speech of gratitude and touching memories. Michael, who had been by Andre's side from the beginning, took the stage to speak. 3 years ago, we were in a very different place. Today, thanks to the determination and love of everyone here, especially Andre, we have turned this nursing home into a model care and compassion. Our parents lived with the dignity they deserved, and for that, we are forever grateful, Michael said, his voice firm and emotional. As Michael spoke, Andre felt a wave of gratitude and humility. He knows that he cannot achieve anything alone. The strength of the community, the unity of families and the dedication of volunteers and staff are critical to the success of this journey. We're all in this together. Each of you has made a difference, Andre thought, feeling part of something much bigger. After the speech, soft music began to play and residents and their families joined in a slow, harmonious dance. James still held Andre's hand, looking at his son with sparkling eyes. Andre smiled and helped his father stand up, gently guiding him to dance with everyone present. As the families dance under the stars, Andre reflects on how much has changed since the day his father was unfairly expelled from the nursing home. The journey was arduous but filled with purpose and love. We are living in a father's dream, a place where every old person is loved and cared for like family, Andre thought. Feeling the warmth of his father's arms, the night continued with jokes and memories shared. Andre feels a deep peace when he sees his father having fun. "I will continue to fight to make sure this never changes," he promised in his thoughts as music and laughter played. Loved ones filled the air, therefore, under the soft light of the stars and the care of the family, the nursing home continues to thrive, an eternal testament to the power of solidarity and sincere care. If you love engaging in true stories about life, click the subscribe button now to not miss any videos. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to receive the latest information from us. Thank you for your support and companionship.